This episode is brought to you by Lost in Cult. Attention Alan Wake fans, if you're a fan of the series, they are responsible for a new Alan Wake Design Works book, which we'll be talking about a bit later on in the episode, as well as giving you a discount code. Enjoy the episode.
Power on. Select your players.
Pierre, Sarah, Glenn.
Select your topic.
Games.
Select your format.
Entertaining podcast.
They're called the Button Boys. So make some fucking noise. 'Cause they're gonna talk about video gaming and stuff.
Button Boys.
This next round is called Button Boys. This round involves Pierre and Sarah. If you want to make your way over to the performance area, please.
Oh.
Does that feel weird?
Yeah. Really strange.
Yeah. And there's nothing we can say back to it.
There's nothing you can say back to it, so it's a complete
Can't
dead
go,
end intro-wise.
Yes, Glenn.
Yes, Glenn, thank
We'll
you.
do that.
Yeah.
Come on, Pierre, let's go.
Let's go to the where?
For performance area.
Oh, yes.
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 We've moved to the performance area now.
Yeah, did it feel like it was BBC 2, 9:30 p.m. on a Friday? I can't even remember what time slot Mock the Week used to have. I'm Glenn Moore, and you're watching Button Boys, or listening to Button Boys, with Sarah Keyworth and Pierre Novelli. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How you both doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good, that's the first adjective we had.
Cards on the table.
Yeah.
Cards on the table, because you're about to ask me, what have you been playing?
Yeah.
Cards, slap them down on the table. I was telling Pierre about this the other day. I am on day 5 of a trial of ADHD meds.
Oh.
Keyworth's on speed.
Yeah.
And I feel it. I really do feel it.
Do you feel like you're Bradley Cooper in Limitless?
A bit,
Yeah.
actually, a bit. It's really, it's done a lot for my mood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy.
Yeah, because your eyes don't look it.
Oh, I said,
You haven't been blinking.
I feel very wide-eyed. I said to my personal trainer yesterday, and they are like a normal. Then they're like a normal person.
Yeah.
I said, I feel like my eyes are getting a lot of air. And they were like,
That sounds nice.
Oh, okay. But I feel like my eyes are wider than they normally
Are
are.
you having to remind yourself to blink? You're having to blink manually?
No, I think I'm blinking. You tell me. But all of this is to say, I don't know. I don't know if it's the right one for me, because I'm hyper focusing on things in a different way. Like we're about to move house. I did a lot of packing on the first day.
Yeah.
But then I went down a weird rabbit hole a few days ago. I was wearing a t-shirt, I think when we recorded, with the Loch Ness monster on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, is there a Loch Ness monster game? If not, would love that. I like the Loch Ness monster. And then I looked it up, and there's a Steam game with Loch Ness monster where you play. It's a co-op game. Where you play as a team and you have to try and track it. And I thought, I want that. But then I was like, I don't have a PC setup, so I was like, I've got to get myself Steam so I can play the Loch Ness game. And long story short, laptop didn't like it. So I never played it, but it was a few hours of my time.
Fuck, I thought you were going to say you bought a whole PC setup, and I was like, oh god, for a Steam game that could.
No,
when games are on Steam, they could be of any level of quality.
Yeah, but I think it took me longer to try and get the game than it would to track the Loch Ness monster.
That feeling is a feeling of so much of my childhood, of seeing a new game and thinking, me want.
Yeah.
And then it just not running on your old PC.
It just doesn't.
Just your computer just screaming at you.
But the irony of it was not lost on me, that I was hunting something.
Yes, my god.
And I never got it. And now that game is a myth in my
So it doesn't
mind.
even does it even load up?
The laptop makes a noise, like go back,
Yeah.
turn back,
Yeah.
like a really horrifying sound.
Yeah.
And it doesn't load up.
Oh man.
It gets hot. It gets really warm.
Yes, yeah.
I mean,
It has a hot flush.
Scolding.
Yeah.
I played GTA 3 on a Windows 95 computer back in the day, and it was just it was because it wasn't out on consoles yet, or I didn't have a PS2, and it was like reading a book. I read GTA 3, but it was like the frame rate was so slow. It was like pages were being turned.
I remember when we were teenagers, my brother bought a cooling pad thing that blew air up. So you plug that in, and it was basically like a special laptop fan that you sit your laptop on, and it constantly ventilated so he could play what's the game that boys loved 20 years ago?
20 years ago. Oh, that could be anything.
15 years ago.
Max Payne.
Online game, Wizards.
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never got into it. Forgot what it was called.
The moment you have to hook your laptop up to like hospital equipment, you know it's doomed. Like
Yeah.
the moment I'm like my Mac's on a drip, and it's just like, it's not going great. Okay, so like you've tried it. Do you remember the name of the Loch Ness game?
I think it's just called Loch Ness.
Great,
Or
because
Loch.
they got in there first. They got in there first.
Yeah.
They're able to call it that.
If anybody if PS5 is listening,
Mm.
I'd like a Loch Ness monster game, please.
Yeah, no, nice. I think that could well happen. It's also worth pointing out, in the interest of full disclosure, we're recording this less than 48, like just over 24 hours after the last episode we did.
Yeah.
So I've been in Legoland, so that sort of limited things slightly.
I guess you've been playing Legoland.
I've been playing Legoland, but I was walking through Legoland being like, this would make an excellent Hitman level because they never did a theme park one. The only problem is Legoland is so much more kid focused than most theme parks, and I was like, they can't do a Hitman level.
You'd be tripping over everything, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
It's a sort of obstacle course game.
But I think that's how you kill the person is they tread on loads of Lego, and that's how they die. Pierre, what have you been playing?
Yeah, just the same three things, which is,
Your Holy Trinity rotation.
my Holy Trinity rotation at the moment is suffering either on Dark Souls, but for the Patreon, Blueprints or Codenames on my phone.
Have you been playing the Battlefield beta?
I never got access to it.
No way.
Well, I was in Edinburgh, so I couldn't.
Of course, all right.
So
Well, I
by the
guess you're very excited about that coming out in a few weeks.
I think so. I'm cautiously optimistic about Battlefield 6 because of its realism. But I've had some worrying intel from producer Ben about quite a few of the levels being a bit Call of Duty-y. So small map area, lots of flow of spawn areas, no real strategy, lots of people jumping.
Jumping needs to be removed from games because jumping doesn't come up in a real combat situation very frequently whatsoever.
You never
Explain to me what you mean by that, because I don't play these shooty.
People jump up like they've got a fucking jetpack.
So you know, like
Right,
you know,
okay.
parkour.
Yes, I'm familiar.
People are kind of like flipping around and jumping off walls and kind of crouching and
It's
sliding.
the footage I've seen of Fortnite, right? Where everybody's
Exactly.
leaping.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then they'll put that into like a Call of Duty game where it's like real weapons with members of the SAS and stuff. And it's just like...
It's more dangerous to employ that in a real combat scenario. It's how Wilfred Owen got killed.
How horrifying. I mean, I know war is horrifying.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say how horrifying would war become,
Yeah.
But the added level of threat that anybody could just land on your head at any
Like
time.
Mario.
Yeah, that you enter sort of battles and you can see there are planes above and you can sort of recognize that bombs may drop or whatever, but like largely you're on the ground, it's hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
But watch out for the big jumping men.
I'd be terrified if it World War II, the Nazis like pogo stick jumped. I mean, like arms by their sides, just jumping towards me, going bitter. I'd be like, I'd surrender, so quickly, more so than if a gun was pointed at my head.
Yeah, and part of you'd be like, I think we should just let them take over because let's have a bit of what they're having. How are you guys pogoing so hard?
So just for context, what Sarah said, they like the cut of the Nazis' jib, and I think that's the crucial conclusion we can reach from this.
Yeah, and they also loved speed.
Oh,
So it's all lining up.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's all lining up.
Damn.
But the idea that like if you came face to face with a member of the SAS, the best thing you could do is a long knee slide followed by an attempt at a backflip.
Yeah, like a child at a disco.
You'd just be given 9 new air holes before your knee slide had even ended. It makes me so annoyed.
A child at a disco.
Also, they're jumping like 3 meters in the air, and their gun is never not pointing exactly at your head.
I can't jump that high.
No one can jump that high.
No.
I hate it. I hate it.
How far because there's a whole thing about Ronaldo jumped high, didn't he? I keep seeing videos where it's like, can you jump as high as Ronaldo jumped during that one game that time because he headed the ball in?
Why are you both seeing these videos?
Oh,
I think our algorithms are very different to yours. Yeah. Replace all the M1 carbine rifles with
Ronaldo.
Yeah, Ronaldo. And we'll have a similar Instagram for you.
Teenage boys jumping.
Yeah.
I spend so long every day deleting football from what the algorithm thinks I want. If I scroll past a football clip and stop for a second to go, what team is that? My phone goes, he loves football. I knew he was a man who loved football. And then I'll just look at nothing but football suggestions for the next 8 months while I desperately go, not interested. No, thank you. No, thank you, please.
This is the horrible thing about the algorithm is that it won't, there should be you hold down on TikTok, the list comes up, there should be an option that just says, by the way, I hate watched that.
Yes.
I
Yes.
hate watched it. It popped up. I thought this is going to make me mad, and I'm sticking by it. But I don't want any more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be a good game, actually. An algorithm generator in which you create the perfect algorithm for someone and you basically click on, be one of those anomaly finders in games.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
sort of go, this person is only interested in tennis. So no South Korean models on runway. No more of that. No more of an economist talking about Bitcoin. None of that.
No more rural Chinese pranks.
Yeah.
I
more.
couldn't relate to that one.
No more. My big one is Larry Stylinson.
Who's that? Can you jump as high as Larry
I
Stylinson?
can get into any kind of conspiracy theory, and there was a time where my Instagram algorithm for quite a long time was a deep dive theories on a relationship between Harry Styles and Louis Tomlinson of One Direction.
Oh.
And I didn't care, but I kept watching, and I don't know why. I don't know because some of it is maybe I believe it. Maybe I believe it.
Do you still believe it to this day? Do you reckon there was any truth in it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do.
Wow.
Something went on.
Yeah.
I've always been a little worried about the theories behind all the Assassin's Creed games.
Right.
Because they're always like, and there's the Knights Templar exist, and there's a secret society that runs the world, and da-da-da.
Oh, you're a bit like,
You suddenly go,
this is dangerous.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
go on.
You get roped in, you
And
get
the-
sucked in.
Yeah, and it's important to go, and these guys, these Templars, they want to be in charge and make everything run in an orderly fashion.
Yeah.
You need to stab all of them in the neck immediately. Why?
Yeah,
Why
this
do I
is the Manchurian candidate. What are you getting us to activate?
It's getting to the point where, like, Assassin's Creed 13, you'll just have to, like, snipe Ursula von der Leyen or something. You get, like, some sort of insane, like, anti-EU, like, UN. Just so they're hiding the truth from you.
Oh my
I always just think, is this good? Am I backflipping a knife into the neck of the right person? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been
That would be a fun game, that tinfoil hat game.
Oh, that would be
Yeah,
good.
like
Tinfoil
that. Like
hat
that.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A game
and you
just
can
called-
upgrade your tinfoil hat.
Yeah, and you have to you have to alienate yourself from your kids as much as possible.
Yeah,
and they're
yeah.
still visiting you every other week. You go, no. We've got to really push them away.
Yeah, get those lizards out of here.
You can add like a little satellite dish onto your tinfoil hat.
It should be like
Upgrade it to
like
a top hat.
like a Sims add-on, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, your sim no longer has to leave the house.
Exactly. And
Because
then
they've got access to mail online. And they're just scrolling every night, and their posture's changing.
yeah,
You see them
read
"What
fake
do
news.
no," getting really angry at the computer.
Spy on neighbours.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Great.
Rear Window add-on.
Rear Window
Yeah.
Sims expansion.
That
That's
really
going
gets-
on the wall.
Yes, here we
On
go.
the wall.
I've been playing Marvel Snap.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's nice.
Not to cheat on you guys, this is for another podcast. This is for Simon Podcast's Patreon version of My Perfect Console.
Simon podcasts.
Did I call him Simon Podcast?
All Simon
Did I call
podcasts.
Old Simon podcast.
Non-native determinism. And it's
Yeah.
fine, isn't it? He had to go into that
It's
as a
like, being,
business.
it's like being called, Gary Smith. He was a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Gary
That.
Cooper. he was
Yeah.
a Cooper.
Jeremy Bitcoin.
I knew a Kitchener who fitted kitchens.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
That's perfect.
Was that a thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't feel like I don't believe that.
No, it's true.
I had a substitute teacher at school once who was called Mr. Wardrobe, and I cannot begin to
Yeah,
fathom that
it was-
that came before the wardrobe was
It
invented.
was gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what we kept yelling at him.
Yeah.
So you're talking to Simon podcasts.
I can't believe I called him
Yes.
Simon Parkins. Simon Parkins podcast. And we're over the course of a
A
month.
double
we're playing-
barrel name, Simon Podcast.
Yeah, that's part- yes. We're playing through Marvel Snap, and I've never played this before, and it's a risk. It's a risk. There's a reason why I play games that have end credits and a campaign that you can definitively finish. I like to move on to the next game. I'm trying to finish and roll credits on 105 video games this year. I'm around about the 78 game reach, and I'm very, very close. But Marvel Snap has no ending because it is a free mobile game. And I'm quite late to this because it came out a couple of years ago. But it's called Marvel Snap, and it is almost a version of, it's basically almost Top Trumps-esque, in which you have a series of the Marvel cards like Iron Man and Spider-Man. Each one has a set number on it and a special ability, and you play it against the other player's team, a bit like Gwent, and whoever's got the highest number wins. But then those special abilities come into play, and it starts undermining the other players and boosting your own. And it's got that real Stark Enterprises Marvel glossiness of you feel like you're in some sort of lab. I love that I love the Peter Parker stuff in the Spider-Man games where you're in the lab and all the logos and everything like that. It's all very clean and it makes me feel like I've gone into science. But it's thoroughly good. It's thoroughly good, but I'm breaking a cardinal rule of mine by playing this, because whenever I play like a roguelike or a deck builder, once I've completed it once, like with Balatro, once I beat the computer once, like with Slave of Spire, when I beat the computer once, I delete the game and I never play it again. Because I know that's a slippery slope. Because I know that it will never get better than that first time I completed it. And I'm not with Marvel Snap, I'm carrying on playing. And this is really dangerous because there's no end to it. But this brings us on to the main topic of the day, because Astrates on Discord, one of our Patreon members, set a good suggestion for this week's episode, which is what weird self-inflicted rules do you put on yourself? And mine is, if I'm playing a roguelike, like Hades, the moment I complete it once and roll credit once, I delete it and I never play it again. Even if it's my favourite game of all time, I couldn't love it more. I wish I could play it. No, delete it. Delete it and it's gone for it. Yep. Delete it and it's gone forever. Never, ever picking it up again in my life.
Never, ever sneakily, quickly pop out back, quick download, little puff.
No, because it won't
puff
be
on an old game.
The same.
Little huff.
The day I got my A-level
snort.
results, everyone at my school, it was an all-boys school and there was a local all-girls school. We all went to the same bar in Croydon, Reflex, the 80s bar. And we had the best night ever because everyone in that nightclub either went to that school or my school, and we had the best night ever. And we all resolved to never, ever go to that nightclub ever again, even though we'd had the best night of our lives there, because it was never going to be the same. Because we'd go there the next weekend and it would be full of 50-year-olds listening to ABBA. It wouldn't be the same.
Do you apply this to everything in your life?
I apply this to everything in my life.
You don't kiss your wife anymore?
Well, I'll tell you what, Katie and I are never getting married again. I can tell you that for free. I can tell you that for free.
Yeah. It won't be as good as the first
time. It's never going to be as good as the first time. We're never going to renew our vows. So it brings me to, if you have any weird rules, or if you've seen any weird self-inflicted rules you've seen online yourself, of what do you impose on yourself in a game?
I've talked about this before. I can't be mean in a game. I can't do it. I won't do it. I don't know what it's like. I think I'm in a video game and I have a morality bar and I'm being watched.
Yeah.
And I can't be. And sometimes I'm sat there with the choice in front of me and I'm like, do it. Just do it. And I can't. My body won't let me be the asshole in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I feel exactly the same way. Rexley on the Discord agrees with you. It's not a rule I want to follow, but I've never managed to do an evil run. I prepare myself to bring terror to the land. But as soon as one of the make-believe characters on screen acts sad, the real me feels awful, and I have to change to being the good guy again.
Yeah.
I considered replaying Baldur's Gate 3, even though it's like a 100-hour experience. I played it as the goodest goody, the most lawful good person, and I had a wonderful time because I made friends. I made friends with the characters. My character fell in love, and I brought peace to the land. But in Baldur's Gate 3, there is a whole playthrough called The Dark Urge, and your character is just beset with this dark urge. One of the main characters you meet, Gale, a wizard, you meet him first. The first time you meet him is his hand. There's just a portal in midair in the middle of the countryside, and there's a hand coming through it, and he's saying, "Please grab my hand. I'm clinging onto a cliff on the other side of his portal. Please pull me through." You pull him through, you meet Gale, he becomes a big part of your team. If you have a dark urge, you have the option to eat his hand, and then he just dies on the other side of his cliff.
Okay, of all the options, eat his hand was not one.
To eat his hand, yeah.
I thought you were going to say push his hand.
I thought you were going to say maybe put your bum on his hand.
Yeah.
No, you can
start laughing.
Bite his hand.
Light lighter and sort of burn his fingers.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, you get a whole different storyline, new cutscenes and stuff like that, but I don't want to see everyone feeling horrible.
Yeah, and it's weird. I would never have the urge if I saw a hand to be like, ooh.
Yeah, it's difficult because it's not my urge.
For me.
It's not my urge. It's why I struggle with like drunkenness and poisoning games, because I'm like, well, that's not how I feel. You know, I don't want to control it. That's not what I'd be doing. And again, I was reading an article the other day of like top 10 most evil things you should do in a Dark Urge playthrough. And there's one character you meet, her husband's recently died, and she wants your help in resurrecting her husband. Inevitably, it doesn't go well, and he's basically a zombie.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of emotionally sort of help her let go and be like, he's never going to be the same. You have to move on from this. That's the nice way to do it. But in the evil one, it's like you can literally just go, this guy's my slave now, and walk away. And it's like, the look on her face, she's devastated. I don't want to see that.
Yeah,
I don't want to know that exists.
I
So
don't
sure you're going to say
break a heart.
So sure you're going to say
already broken.
Eat him.
Yeah, I think it's easy.
Just in front of her.
Or you can make friends with the husband and eat the woman.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Together.
But in Baldur's Gate, you can because it lets you do anything. But I'm like, it's not a compulsion that I have. So I'm completely with you on this.
However, when I play GTA, this is worrying actually, because arguably it's the most realistic game of all the games we talk about.
Yeah.
I'm killing everyone.
Really?
Yeah, I love going on a rampage.
Is it because they're quite simplistic, the NPCs, and they're just sort of going, what? Whoa!
I
and
think
kind
it's
of running around.
I think it's based on the fact that when I started playing the game when I was a child, my cousins had Vice City, and we never actually played the game.
No.
We would just pass the controller between the four of us, and it was who could go on the longest rampage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who could get the most stars and who could survive the longest.
The unofficial version of GTA.
Yeah, and I think
How old were you when you realised that I've got to deliver a package to Mickey? What? Why are there missions in this?
it was then later on it must have been San Andreas, and my brother got a copy of it because I have a vivid memory of asking my mum for Vice City and not understanding what I was asking for. 18 plus game. I couldn't have been much older than 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And my mum saying the words, "I am not buying you a game called Vice City."
Yeah, now I hear it.
Do you understand what you're asking me
I
for?
want to play Pawn Stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please, mummy.
I want to run over pedestrians in the Pawn Stadium.
Well, I had to convince my parents it was okay. I was like, all games are rated 18 because they've got violence in, and they'd let me watch 18 rated films, and that was okay.
Yeah.
But then my dad walked into the room and saw me like drilling a chainsaw into like a shopkeeper's back, and was like, "What is this? What is this?" And I was like, "It's a glitch, I think."
It's just like any of the films we watch.
It's like any of the films we watch. It's
Yeah.
happening there saying about Mary last week. Don't you remember, Dad?
Yeah. You look at him and go, Bambi.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in terms of killing people and running over pedestrians, Paige Harvey from the charity Special Effects said, "Never kill the animals. I don't care if I need them for resources. Don't kill them." And I think Rockstar Games, because they make GTA, have this in Red Dead where I would feel a bit like if I was on my horse and I accidentally ran into a chicken, you just feel the screen judder a bit and you really get the impact of it a pedestrian.
Yeah.
It really makes you feel like you've hit someone. I don't know how GTA 6 is going to do this next year, because I don't think rampaging will be fun in GTA 6 because it's going to feel so
Real.
visceral, and you're going to feel.
real.
Imagine the fucking haptics in the PS5 controller. You're going to feel the light you're going to feel the light leaving their eye. Your screen's going to fade. So you're just going to feel it in that, like, that you're going to have to cradle the controller like it's their head.
You're going to feel every bit of possibility for their life at that
Absolutely,
moment.
yeah.
Every bit of who they could have been.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do agree with you, though. You feel it more when you hit somebody with a horse than you do a car. Yeah.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Isn't it? Is that a good observational bit?
I can see McIntyre busting that up.
A horrible sentence to say.
Someone with a horse.
You don't really think about it, do you? You don't think about it. You think, oh gosh, oh dear.
Yeah, and it's not really relatable because McIntyre can afford a horse. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it's sort of going, no, he's changed, doesn't
That's
he?
why you had to drop it.
That's why you had to drop it.
Yeah.
Something Lee Evans kept doing a bit about, when you're on the bus and you're like, you fucking don't.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like on the bus. Anyway. Yeah. What are your weird rules?
I suppose there's a difference, isn't there, between weird rules and self-imposed strategy? Because
Okay.
when we're playing Warzone, over the lockdown, we had the mantra "love is a mistake,"
It's a great phrase.
and it was because whenever one of your team gets downed, you'd always think, "Well, I'll revive them, and then we'll keep fighting." And the second you go to revive them, you just get your head opened up by a sniper or something.
Yeah.
It's just terrible. So you just have to leave them for a second and fix the situation first.
I
But
wish-
that's more of a good strategy.
It is a good strategy. I just wish we'd worded it differently, because occasionally, like, Katie would come into the living room and be like, "You're going to bed soon?" And I'd be like, "Yes, yeah, just finishing this round or whatever." And then she'd leave, and then she'd just hear me mutter into the mic, "Love is a mistake." And I'd be like, "It's not about you. It's about the game. I'm talking to Pierre.
It's about my boys.
It's about my boys. It's about my boys." I like this. 1-inch Ash on the Discord said, "Any game where a car can get damaged and repaired, I must have a pristine vehicle at all times, and will stop everything I'm doing until the car is perfect again." I'm into that, and I don't know why. I don't know why I feel the need to, because it doesn't matter.
I suppose almost all of, say, Hell Let Loose or Milsim games is self-imposed rules because the game doesn't make you be a helpful member of the team.
Yeah.
The whole point is that you have to decide to. So I could make a rule where it's like, this is my bit of the map. I'm covering this.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't have to. I could run around and do whatever I wanted and
Yeah.
throw grenades in the air. But you just go, no, I'm going to behave as though I have like a kind of job.
Yeah,
Giving yourself a job in a game like that.
Oh, I do like to do that.
Yeah.
I agree with someone. Someone got in touch actually about this. This was Paul Blatch. He messaged me on Instagram and said, "I'm playing Hitman Blood Money, and it's very specific that this is Hitman Blood Money, and I'll go into it in a second. If I got caught, rather than restart the mission, I had to kill everybody on the map to make sure my identity remained a secret at the end of the level.
Right.
Now, I feel this way about like Commandos, those stealth games. The moment I get caught, I restart because I'm like, I'm playing the game wrong. I don't want to be playing Hitman as a shooty game. That's not what I want to do. Hitman Blood Money, they experimented just with this one. At the end of each mission, you got a newspaper article. And so if you had snuck in, not killed anyone, but the two main targets, you'd been like, well, I pushed one down a well and the other one got like drowned in the bath or whatever. The paper would be like, tragedy at the such and such estate as two completely disconnected accidents happened. But then what happened if you killed a couple of people? The newspaper article would be like, a couple of people spotted a bald man leaving the premises, that sort of thing. But if you killed everyone in the map, they just go, 450 dead at Legoland Windsor, and like no suspects, and then it would just sort of move on. I'm completely with them on that. We have had some insane ones come through. Really. Like Steph Godwin, this is again on GTA. I once made a rule in San Andreas where I had to choose an NPC and follow them. Just follow them all day. Usually after a while, for some reason, they'd get spooked and would run into the nearest ocean. Which I've never heard of happening before, which means Steph was the first person to ever do this. But apparently it would just happen after a while. Because if you just follow NPCs, they've just got their vague daily routine. Chances are they, unlike Red Dead 2, they don't have a house. They've got nowhere to return to, so they just have to keep walking around all day. But apparently after a while they go, I can't take this anymore.
It makes me feel less bad about killing them.
Yeah.
Because they were always going to end up in the sea.
Yeah, they have no survival instinct.
They're supposed to just sort of self-delete, I guess.
Yeah.
I think so. There was
Fade into the horizon.
In the manuals for San Andreas and GTA, because they always read like tourist manuals and just like giving you info about come to Vice City, they would always give you a population. So Vice City has a population of, 2.4 million. And I did always think, have they programmed that into the game? And if you did kill enough people, would it be empty?
It'd be like a ghost town.
Yeah, if you went to the Malibu nightclub and there's just one dancer there, still listening to the Mary Jane Girls. Is that what it would be? Like, do you get a reward?
It used to be a bustling city. Now it's a ghost town.
Yeah.
That Captain Price thing about Chernobyl.
Yes. Yeah.
Button Boys.
Now's a good time to mention that today's episode is sponsored. We're sponsored by Lost in Cult, an incredible company who I stumbled across in the last year for making predominantly physical editions of digital-only games. So if you loved indie hits like Thank Goodness You're Here and Immortality a couple of years ago, they make actual like Nintendo Switch versions of them that you can have in your hands. They've also got another line called Design Works. They've released a book called Alan Wake Design Works, in which you can take a real deep dive into the artistic majesty of the Alan Wake horror game series. They're great stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just physical editions of games. The design works are like, big detailed books on the artistic development of games like Immortality and Alan Wake.
They're perfect because we love touching stuff.
We love touching stuff.
We've always said this about going to buy a physical game, having something to touch, having a book, having a gorgeous book, such a cool gift to give to a friend.
We touch everything in a shop. I go to the cinema, I touch all the pick and mix.
You can also
so I decide which ones I want.
Touching stuff is great. If you loved Alan Wake and you want to just immerse yourself back into that world, then we thoroughly recommend this as a good gift.
The Alan Wake Design Works book is a 250-plus page hardback filled with incredible insights and details about the Alan Wake game and its development and its design.
Not just the first Alan Wake, but the spin-off New Nightmare, and also Alan Wake 2, one of the greatest games, in my opinion, and many other people's opinions as well, of 2023. Just a fantastic horror game that just completely upended the genre, was so creative, so artistic, a game that blends brilliant animation, but also with just FMV cutscenes and scenes that also blend the two. It has now got an iconic scene where you're walking through a music video that is all FMV, but you yourself are an animated character going through it. It's so good. It's so artistic. Sam Lake has got such an amazing creative vision. So if you want to step into that, it's nice to have a game that's already so arty and then have an art book within that.
The Alan Wake Design Works also has a deluxe edition exclusive only available until the 17th of October, and it includes, listen to this, a clamshell box, a replica return manuscript, crime file folder of collectibles, and a Bright Falls fold-out map.
That's so much stuff to touch.
It's so deluxe.
You can get yourself 5% off the Alan Wake Design Works or anything on the Lost in Cult website by using the code BUTTONALLEN.
All one
Put
word.
your butt on Alan.
All one word. But on Alan.
And we're going to post a link in all of our show notes.
Yeah, so get on it. Thank you, Lost in Cult, for sponsoring this episode. We'll be back with more Button Boys in just a second.
Button Boys.
Jack Lewis is an insane one. I used to spend ages running around in 2004's Spider-Man, pretending that Spider-Man had lost his powers and had to run away from civilians.
Oh my God.
That might somehow work out his secret identity. This basically just meant I played the game actively avoiding doing the things that made the game fun, like web swimming and combat, just to walk around slowly at street level up and down Manhattan. There's another insane one, which
I used to do a bit of that in like a Tony Hawk's game.
So you'd stop skateboarding and you'd walk.
Which one is it? It's Underground, where you can get off the board.
Right.
You'd be like, I'm not a skater. It's a lamer version of that, because
Yeah.
at least in that one he's Spider-Man, whereas I'm just like, I'm a guy.
What happens if you fall down the stairs? Is it like two times combo
Well,
or whatever? Like, do you get anything?
When you fall down the stairs, I think the game puts you back on the board.
Broken femur.
Yeah.
The idea is that you already haven't mastered feet.
Yeah.
Back on the skateboard, though. You go, no.
It swipes you back on. I've got a memory that obviously the game's default is to stick you on that board.
Yeah.
So if you like jumped as a person, I think it would result in you being possibly back on the board.
Yeah.
Surely if you walk through New York dressed as Spider-Man in the game, people should just give
Take
you like
pictures
$1
with
to
you.
have a picture with you. and
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Naked Cowboy.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
that. I used to have. I've been weighing up whether or not to admit this, because although this was years ago, this is really bad behaviour. That a friend of mine and we at uni, when we used to go to pre-drinks, before we go to pre-drinks at the girls who lived in the flat next door to us, we do pre-drinks at mine, and we play Metal Gear Solid 4, and we play online. And the idea was you could only play one person at a time online, so you just keep playing in like team deathmatch, and then when you got killed, you'd hand the control over to the other person and they'd have another go, and then you pass it back. However, you could earn an extra life if you killed one of your own teammates and didn't get kicked out of the match. That was our rule. So it meant we were dickheads.
Yeah.
And I feel so bad about this. I cannot stress enough. I was like 19 years old. I do not stand by this behaviour. But they had one map called Midtown Maelstrom. And the idea was it was just one long street in somewhere like Iraq. And it was all bombed and burnt out, loads of burnt out cars. And one end of Midtown Maelstrom was up high. And there were buildings with windows. And that's where all the snipers would be. And then the other end was loads of burnt out cars in a row. And that's where another team of snipers would be. And they're just exchanging fire. The moment someone put their head up, it was like the trenches. They just immediately get shot at and they'd have to duck down. So you'd have a whole line of your own teammates just lying down behind these cars in a row. So what you do before you went into the enemy's base is we just crouch down silently next to them and just stab them. And then we. But the thing is, in the corner of the screen, it would be like Glenmore killed Stephanie or whatever. So what we would do in order to stop getting kicked is we would vote to kick out Stephanie, and we'd have to put a message to the group and we go, we just got fucking killed by Stephanie. And then people would be like, yeah, I think I saw something flash up in the screen about someone, Glenmore and Stephanie.
Oh, that's
I know.
At first I was like, this is a bit of fun.
Yeah, but we'd always get
actually-
kicked out because they'd go, this guy just fucking killed me. So what you
Yeah.
had to do is you had to get them kicked out first.
It's also unfortunate you've used the name Stephanie, because the fact that it's a woman's name, I'm like...
Murdering Stephanie.
Yeah, murdering Stephanie, gaslighting Stephanie.
Oh, sorry.
Murdering then gaslighting her.
Or is it representation in gaming? Ah.
Yeah, it's an equal opportunities
Okay.
murderer.
You
Yes.
finally...
Pierre loves realism.
Yeah. But the thing is, the way we'd defend ourselves is because people would occasionally chase us down into other lobbies because they'd be so furious. They'd find when we went into another lobby and they go into the game and go, this guy's a fucking murderer.
Oh my God.
And what we do is we'd always message them and say, I'm so sorry, man, please give me a break. It's my wedding day. And on about 2 occasions, someone was like, okay, that's really annoying, but okay, enjoy the rest of your day, like enjoy your wedding. And it'd be like, do you think the congregation is wait?
They're all watching you
Yeah,
play.
the vicar's furious. I'll be out in a second. He's having last minute jitters, or he's playing Midtown Maelstrom. We're not sure.
Got it on a PowerPoint at the reception.
But yeah, that was an insane rule we gave ourselves. If you wanted to stay on, you had to kill someone and get away with it. You had to kill one of your own teammates.
I have the opposite of a rule. I have a
yeah.
let myself off the hook thing. And it's because I will get to a point where I'm no longer enjoying a game if I get too fixated and obsessive about finding everything.
Yeah.
Particularly like a sort of Last of Us where it's like there are sort of collectible
Abby's
things.
fucking coins.
Yeah. I have to sort of say to myself quite often, you're playing this for fun. You're the only person who will know if you don't get everything. You don't care. Carry on. Keep going.
It's Justin Timberlake's character in Shrek the Third. The only person standing in your way is you.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm standing hard.
Justin Timberlake.
An incredible... What a mind-blowing reference to drop.
And the fact that I just went, absolutely.
Of course,
I agree with you.
Peace be upon him.
Yeah.
He just quoted fucking Gandhi or something. But I mean, it's like Justin Timberlake in Shrek the Third.
Quoting Shrek, but not the character Shrek.
Yeah.
Is it a smaller character within the Shrek franchise? But I agree with you. You have to remind yourself, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I made my life a misery by 100%ing the map. And you don't get a reward for it. Ubisoft don't come round and shake you by the hand.
A reward should come up that says, really?
Yeah.
Really? You went to every corner of the blank ocean section?
Yeah, they just send a psychiatrist to your house.
Yeah.
It's like if someone came up to you and said, I saw your tour show. And you go, oh my God, thank you so much. If someone came up and said, I saw every single one of your tour shows.
Yeah.
Be like, that's like Liam Neeson's daughter in Taken, where she just keeps going to see you too.
They come up to you and they tell you every joke you told in your tour show.
Yeah.
And you go, oh, holy shit, you've got them all?
Yeah. Whereas the guy came up to me in Legoland yesterday and was like, oh, he just wanted to say, he was like, I really enjoy your work. And he was like, but I don't want to bother you. I'm sure this is really pissing you off or whatever. And just immediately walked away. And it was like, you have no idea how much this isn't pissing me off. Let's have a conversation. It might be really nice. So can we talk? What's your favourite thing I've done?
What's your favourite thing I've done?
If you had to name one.
Yeah. What sort of stuff?
Doing that dickish thing people do when someone's wearing a band shirt. And it's like, oh, you're a fan of me, are you? Name one joke.
Yeah.
Name one joke I've told.
Yeah.
So apologetic.
What's your favourite Glenn Moore joke?
Yeah, what callback did I in my last show on? Come on.
Threw himself in front of a Lego bumper car. Gone now.
I got so pissed off with a former housemate's rule that they always had, and I'm going to name him in full. His name is Joe Bunce, partly because I want to shout out to him because he's responsible, because of his amazing Photoshop skills, for quite a few of the posters we've had if you're watching the show on YouTube or if you've seen clips online.
Joe Bunce.
So I do appreciate Joe Bunce. However,
You appreciate Joe Bunce.
I appreciate. But however,
Bon Bunce.
when I lived with him in Sheffield with a couple of our housemates, we had a GameCube. Even though this is like towards the tail end of the next generation, PS3 was nearing the end of its cycle. We had a GameCube that we loved to play Time Splitters 2 on, and we loved playing Time Splitters 2, and we'd always set ourselves strange matches and weird team death matches and the like. And we used to have a round of our own creation called a real bear and braces scenario, in which every single person on the map had to be the character Braces, who was a big like Chicago gangster, works on the docks at a guy with sort of sort of a pinstripe sort of like sort of like shirt and the trousers and the strap, the dungaree sort of what have he's got? Suspended
Braces. They're called braces.
Yeah, what the fuck have I
couldn't believe what I was watching.
No, hang on. That was a bit.
Glenn was miming braces for, I'd say, at least 90 seconds to 2 minutes.
You've got to go to hospital.
I was watching him thinking, he's trying to say braces, I think.
He's got these straps like dungarees.
He's dancing around
braces. What is it that Billy Braces wears?
Is that real, like, the best time to be in an ambulance? The next best time is right fucking now. That, I have never.
That can't be real.
I'm so sorry.
I don't believe this. Because you should be having a
I think if
nosebleed.
you're watching it back, I'm leaning in. I'm waiting to see.
Where's the bit where the punchline? And I was like, I can't remember. Why else is he called that?
Straps, what are they called?
Yeah. And he's got terrible teeth, and he uses these.
What are they?
Yeah. That is what a humiliation. I know we need to leave that in, and I wish we wouldn't.
Gosh. Well, we'll need it for the medical inquest.
Yeah.
The footage.
Yeah, when the symbiote started to leak from his ears. I had everyone would have to be Braces. The guy with the braces.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone.
Right.
But why is he called Braces?
Please leave me alone. And then one of the computer players would be just the bear. There was a circus bear with a little fez. And for some reason it would just be Bear versus Braces. But all the Braces were
Bear
shit.
is completely naked.
But Bear was like 5-star, absolutely incredible. Bear's fully naked apart from the fez. Yeah.
He's a
Some kind of
What would you call
hairy
it? Like entirely
Yeah.
sign.
entirely nude.
Yeah.
Nude.
So I hate this so much. But we'd always play this game. But Joe Bunce only played as a robot called Gretel Mark 2. And when we were like, we're going to do Baron Braces, and everyone would be races, and he would still be Gretel Mark 2. And it was like, no, but because the whole idea is you don't know who's who, because everyone's braces, apart from the bear. The whole idea is we don't know who's who. It's like the thing. And he'd be like, no, I always do Gretel Mark 2. And it was like, but we can't play the game then, can we? And he was like,
yeah.
And then I think it's one of the only times in my life I've ever stormed out of a room.
Rules
and
clashing
over
with
the
rules.
lowest stakes thing ever.
Yeah.
So forgiven but not forgotten.
Never forgotten.
Yeah, but it's just this one from Joe on Discord. That every house, and I do appreciate this, every house I build in The Sims must have the expected infrastructure. For instance, the appropriate number of beds for each person. I don't care that they don't sleep at the same time and could therefore sleep in the same bed. They will all get their own bed in their own room. No,
What
obviously I'm not going to build...
fuck? Does that mean that some people just have one bed and they rotate their Sims out?
This is like your fucking bit about that couple who didn't have a side of the bed.
Yeah.
Right. But this is a thing. I didn't realise this, but if you wanted to maximise efficiency in The Sims, you remove the realism and you... So this was my...
What? This is horrific.
The most
So you
disgusting
can
I
have a
found...
family of 5 and they're taking it in turns in the bed.
Like Angela's Ashes.
Weird, creepy perv.
I was going to say, like, this is from like Road to Wigan Pier about like urban poverty in 20s England.
Yeah, and
like,
someone who sleeps the night shift
Yeah.
has
Yeah.
the mattress during the day. 2 Point Campus, I absolutely loved. Not as much as 2 Point Hospital, because the idea was you had these students who were staying overnight for the whole year, and apparently it was 10 students per bed. And the idea is in a dormitory, you just need to put one bed and that will cover for 10 different students. And if you want to maximize efficiency, you do that. But I would still fill these dorm rooms with loads and loads of beds, even though everyone would just be using the same bed. Because I was like, can we just have a little realism counter we turn on when you don't have 10 students sharing this, and they'd be queuing up to go to bed. It was just so fucked.
like a fairground
Like a
ride.
fairground ride. Like
You
a
must be
fairground
this
ride.
sleepy.
Yeah. It was absolutely wild.
That's
I remember
horrible.
I remember a friend of mine lived with 5 guys, and they didn't have a shower. They had a bath, and in the morning they would all be queuing up to have a bath.
Oh
And
my
they
god!
make a lot of burgers,
It's
these guys,
never
do they?
occurred to me in my life that the people would have a 1-bed Sims house.
It's really horrible. Have you seen
So horrible.
Have you seen the meme of the painting goblin?
No.
Oh yeah, you need to look this up. Big recommend. I'll explain it.
Imagine being in The Sims, a little child waiting to go to sleep, but mum and dad are woohooing.
Yeah.
You got to wait for them to finish woohooing.
Oh, the bed's
then-
gone pixelated.
Yeah.
and
Oh
then
no!
time for bed.
I've peeked through the keyhole and it's all pixelated in there, so it's going to be a little while. Fireworks are coming out of the bed, I'm afraid. Yeah.
A guy online posted that every time he made The Sims, he'd give his family a painting goblin. So he'd make a really like hideous green sim, and he'd put them in the basement. You could have a basement.
I just make them paint.
So the painting goblin would have like a bed and a toilet and an easel, and couldn't leave. There were no stairs out. And the painting goblin would just paint and paint and paint in the dark forever, and become incredible at paintings. And each painting would sell for 100,000 simoleons, and it would fund the lifestyle of the family upstairs who never met the goblin.
It's like something of barbarian.
Yeah.
Do they obviously they have a relationship with the goblin. You
They
can
don't know
see-
he's there.
Yeah, but they will because he's part of the household.
In theory.
So he's on their relationship bar.
Oh
but
yeah,
they
that's
never
true. But they've
interact.
never met him.
Yeah.
Imagine how scared you'd be if one day you had a real life relationship bar and it had
He's God.
basement goblin in it, and you go, "Who? In my house?"
Oh wow.
Yeah. He's part of your family.
Yeah, he's a god in their lives. He's an abstract being.
Or like a sort of like a medieval gnome, where it's like you leave out a saucer of milk and they come and cobble your shoes and fix your fence.
They
and
sit
stuff.
down to eat. They say we say give thanks to the painting goblin for this delicious
Yeah,
meal.
and they stamp on the floor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's like when you hear in like certain European countries, they just have a different version of Santa, where
Yeah.
it's like, well, you leave your shoes out and he fills them full of chocolate, but if you don't leave your shoes out, obviously he murders all the children. You go,
Yes, yeah.
right, sorry.
Yes.
So he gives with one hand. and
Krampus or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, exactly that.
Here we have Winter Leslie. And if you don't, and if you
or
don't,
Wesley for short.
if Wesley doesn't get his bells, then of course there'll be
Yes.
no school come spring, and you'll have to help with the harvest.
If you do the bells, he'll do your tax report. Yes.
Winter Leslie and his singing plough.
Yes.
Well, Join us next week for what is definitely going to be the poster behind Pierre.
Yes, we got 2 of them sorted.
There's
Great.
no world in which it won't be that. A couple of other insane rules. I like this. This is subconscious and reality sort of seeping into the game. This is from Alice, who messaged me on Instagram. I played a lot of Red Dead Redemption 2 in lockdown and subconsciously kept Arthur and his horse a safe 2 meters away from every other person I came across in a town.
Oh.
Which is so weird.
That is weird.
Because also,
freaky.
when you perform like a robbery and stuff like that, for a bit of anonymity, you can give Arthur you can put his neckerchief up above his nose.
Yeah.
So you basically wear a face mask when you're going into the shop.
Right.
Yeah. So I think that's quite realistic.
I think that a lot of the characters in Assassin's Creed probably don't believe in vaccines.
It's an absolute nightmare to go through all of that whilst playing Red Dead and for him to get TB at the
Yeah, exactly. I tried so hard
Yeah,
because a fucking
Yeah.
guy in debt coughed into my mouth, which is what happens. Hannah on the Discord agreed with me on the GTA San Andreas thing, because I mentioned in a previous episode that to procrastinate during, I think, my AS levels, I completed San Andreas by obeying all traffic laws and not. If I had to commit a crime, it was within a mission. But you get, as CJ, you get given a bicycle, you get given a car. Those were my vehicles. Josh Norris, the comedian, agreed with me, did exactly the same thing. But Hannah said, I don't think you've really played any GTA game until you've driven around obeying all the traffic laws and have subsequently gotten annoyed about getting stuck in a traffic jam. I would be like that. I'd be honking my horn, being like, come on, move.
We'd call it upstanding citizen mode.
Really? Was that a thing in your household?
Yeah, when my brother and I would play.
That's
okay,
good.
play upstanding citizen mode. On like Crazy Taxi and stuff like that as well. And it's pointless to play Crazy Taxi that way because you just fail every
You just fail every mission. Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy's like, oh, it took me a normal amount of time to get here.
Yeah, you're meant to be crazy.
Yeah.
I paid for a mentally imbalanced taxi, and instead I got a normal ride.
Yeah.
Uber X brackets mental. Is that more expensive or cheaper?
The taxi drivers just started their ADHD meds.
Yeah. Quite a sensible one from Andrew Coulson here. If a game has exploration and optional mounts, for instance, Breath of the Wild, Horizon. I've never ridden an animal in Horizon ever.
What's the fucking point? You got fast travel.
Exactly. There's no need to. But he said, I will never use a mount unless a mission requires me to. If the developers put stuff in the game for me to find, I'm not going to blast past it at 30 miles an hour and possibly miss it. I think I'm with him on that.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of car-based ones, this is from Fran on the Discord. My brothers and mates would only play, and I think we should do this at some point. This is a fucking brilliant rule to give yourself. They'd only play Mario Kart Battle Mode, where the driver was blindfolded and his teammate had to guide them like Nightmare, the TV show.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah.
They did star in a reasonably priced car in Top Gear once with a blind guy, and Jeremy Clarkson guided him around because he thought he'd be quicker than I think Terry Wogan. It was like the slowest one ever. And it was like, he came like pretty high up the leaderboard.
Wow.
Because if you are guided, because he used to be like a professional driver and then went blind. But then he was just an amazing, he just had to keep going like left a bit, right a bit, right a bit. Wow. It would have been funnier if they died in an explosion. And they'd gone, I don't know what we were thinking.
That's how Clarkson died. Yeah.
Trying to think of a new
super embarrassing as well, where all on the news, and it's like, well, what the hell happened? And he's like, oh well, he got into an F1 car with a blind driver.
We
drive
yeah, that makes sense
for a laugh.
My parents bought a piano when I was a kid, and they were trying out different people's pianos, like they were selling secondhand that they saw on like the local newspaper. And we went to a guy's house, and the guy was completely blind, and he was selling his piano because I think it was his daughter's, and she'd gone to uni or something like that.
Yeah.
But my mum went, "Do you play?" And he went, "Do I play?" "Oh, I play." And he went to the piano, and it was a blind man playing the piano. Wow. It was just cacophonous.
Yeah.
And then halfway through he went, "No, just kidding." And then he was actually, we were like, oh my God. Because before then we were like, wow, that's so good, incredible.
How funny would it have been if he's mid-bit, he's playing the piano like horribly, and your mum left during. Yeah. And he goes, "Oh, just kidding."
I'm just kidding, guys.
Silent.
That's such a good prank.
That's such a good bit. It's
Really
an excellent
silly.
bit.
So good.
It would be remiss of us to be talking about rules you impose in games and ways you bastardize them without mentioning the live show we're doing at the end of this month at the Pleasance Theatre in London. If you want to come and see The Audience versus the aforementioned Simon podcast, the aforementioned Simon Parkin from My Perfect Console has come up with an incredible format he's been working on with producer Ben, where it's comedians versus the audience playing bastardized versions of games. So an instance we did when we prototyped this in February was people were dropped into London in Assassin's Creed, and you had to find and reach the top of Nelson's column quicker than the other person. And it's just stuff like that, just little rule changes in games. It's lovely. Even if you don't want to get involved, you will never be dragged up on stage. It's absolutely fine. But myself, Glenn Moore, will be hosting the event, and the two comedians that you, the audience, will be playing against are none other than Pierre Novelli and Sarah Keyworth.
Yeah, it's Simon Podcast. It's Richard Audience.
Yeah. Is it Richard Audience? Is one guy.
It's Richard Audience and it's Johnny Comedian.
It's Johnny Comedian, yeah.
They're really good together.
They're really, really good together.
Really funny.
You want to see them go head to head.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if it sounds like something you want to check out, it's September the 29th. You can find tickets on the Pleasance website, or you can go to the social medias of Sarah, Pierre, myself, and Simon Parkin to find out more. But hopefully, we'll see you there.
Gripes.
That's the new theme tune. That's the new sting. I like it, Sarah.
You like the way I sung that?
I really liked it. It was those you harmonised with yourself.
Yeah,
good.
I did. Yeah,
That was
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Yeah, that will be out on Spotify separately. It's my new,
Yeah.
new song, Gripes.
It's not too late for it to make you wrapped if you really get on it.
If you stream
Yeah.
stream now. Music video coming out next week.
Get a big play count because it's not very long.
It's not very long. You can
Also,
put it.
I think September's a good time to remind people to change your playlist up. You've got a few months before Spotify Wrapped comes out. It's never too late.
Mine's going to be fucking dark this year.
Man.
Really fucking dark.
It's going to be such an outlier. Next year's going to be great. Last year's probably great. I am worried. I'm so glad it's only Spotify who does it. Well, not a few other places do. But I'm so glad that like Calculator app doesn't do a Wrapped. Where it'd be like, you had to at one point type in 7 + 4. And I'm like, I know. I was a restaurant and it was busy and I was stressed.
This is completely off topic, but here we go. Was absolutely cackling the other day, and this is a podcast idea that Ivo Graham and Alex Keeley told me about that they've never made, probably because nobody would agree to do it. And the concept of it, I should probably not be saying this,
Geek pigs.
is they have a guest on, they choose just a random day, and they go and look at their search history for that day, and you have something like sort of 5 to 10 minutes to clear. They give you a bit of time just to clear out anything that's like horribly humiliating. But my girlfriend and I were laughing about this, and we were like, what would it be for like us yesterday? And I had we'd gone for food with my cousin and his fiance, and we'd been talking about like how much DNA we share. And I had Googled how much DNA do cousins share. And out of context, horrifying.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So I'm glad Google don't do a search history Wrapped.
Tom Price does My Mate Bought a Toaster, where you have to give him your Amazon account, and he goes through your Amazon history. And I had to be like, not March 2019 and not February 2022. If that's just like specific, you can't look at those. But other than that, we're absolutely fine. So Gripes, this is from Temp89. I really like this one in terms of I hate it, but it's a good gripe. Unskippable logo intros. You've already bought the game. You've played through the game several times, but every time you load it up, especially back in the day before the days of like quick resume, sitting through the console, the publisher, and developer logos every time the game booted up.
Dark Souls.
I think this also extends to the sort of tutorial bit at the start of a game, the like slow introduction where it's like you have to just I think I'd say Red Dead is a bit like this. There's a long opening
That's one of the
sequence.
longest ever.
And it's boring when you're like, I know. It puts you off a replay of a game, I think.
Yeah,
sometimes,
you should
where
be
you're
able to
like,
click I know.
Yeah, you should be able to skip to sort of chapter 2 or whatever. Or I think that's like a prelude bit in Red Dead, but you should be able to just go, I've played this before.
The worst example was unskippable opening cutscenes that would play, again like Dark Souls does in Elden Ring, where the intro cinematic comes before the menu. And you go, I only needed to see this once ever. And I'm playing the game more than 30 separate times.
Yeah.
So CD Projekt Red were really bad for this. Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk have a cutscene that starts at the beginning every time you play. And Kingdom Come Deliverance, the original one, had this opening cinematic where you had to wait for at least 30 seconds before you could skip it. And me and my housemate at the time, James, we would always know the exact bit because you were always able to press skip at the exact same word. And it was talking about King Wenceslas failing to turn up to his own coronation, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Now you can press skip. And so the sentence, which did little to endear him to the Pope, is just drilled into my mind because I know to press X to skip.
My
Little Big Planet has it.
oh yeah.
And it's such a bizarre, like, long sequence of footage with like human children in it. Yeah.
Are you sure it's not just your version?
Yeah. Oh, I'm just watching TV.
Yeah.
No, it's got it's like, and it's introducing the concept of imagination, which I think we all understand.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
like,
worrying.
well, you know, in the world, it's Stephen Fry as the narrator,
Of course.
and then it kind of turns into this Imagisphere thing. But you're like, what is this? The first time I played it, I was like, I've got the wrong game.
Yeah.
I bought a film. I bought a DVD.
I've bought like a sort of educational primary school.
Yeah. Turn to page
info.
7 of your textbook.
Yeah.
On imagination.
I'd rather a blank loading screen. And I go, at least I can check my phone.
When I was a kid, though, one of our treasured memories, me and my sisters, was how amusing we found the way that the Sega logo said its own name. Sega! So we would just be like losing our fucking minds.
Yeah.
Just going, Sega! To each other
To be
and running
in
around
that,
the house.
to be in that voiceless booth on that day.
Okay, it's Sega, right? So not Sega? No, Sega. Right, thanks.
Okay, I'll just try it a couple of times. Yeah, we got it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap.
Sorry, what happened? What?
We got it. That's it.
Sega. That's great. More like a goblin? More like a goblin.
I saw on a lamppost years ago, someone had just pasted a sticker and it was the Sega logo, but it was FUDE. And I don't know how that's food.
Food
Yeah.
day.
Food day.
Whenever you scored a goal in like World Cup 93 or whatever it was on the Sega Mega Drive, it would go, goal!
Do you think it's the same guy? doing
So
all of
funny.
it?
Yeah.
It's good. We'll get Alan in for it.
Yeah.
Alan voiceover.
Alan's gonna come in and he does like a few normal takes, and then after a while he sticks something up his own arse, and that's when you get the good stuff.
Yeah.
It's a closed recording set for Alan.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to hear more gripes, as well as our weekly playthrough of Dark Souls and a game we're going to recommend that you may not have heard of before, and just for a whole extra episode in general, do sign up to our Patreon. You can also sign up to the free tier of our Patreon because that gives you access to the Discord. So when we are sourcing questions, like for instance, what are the weird rules you impose on yourself, we'll give you guys priority on the Discord in terms of reading them out on the episode. But in the meantime, we'll see you next week. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Pierre. I've been Glenn. We've all been Button Boys. Goodbye.
We've all been.
Bye-bye.
Alan.
Farewell.
Button Boys.